Today I'm going to share with you one of the most important videos that you will ever see in your life. Everyone is so focused on how do I change my life, but you forget that it's the who changes your life. And that's going to be you, because everyone's so focused on a plan, on a blueprint, what's the next thing, but you are going to have to be that person that follows it through. Everyone's so focused on fixing the external that you forget that it's the internal that changes the external. Now that might bubble your mind for a bit, and I'm going to go straight into it. And I want you guys to understand that every time I speak to you, it comes straight from the heart. This comes from something that I've managed to overcome, and I share what I've used, what has helped me, and I share it with you guys. So right now I've got a little template, as you guys can see here, where I put a bullet point, because there's things here that I don't want to miss out. I always do just one take on my videos because it just flows. So now this video is going to be about how to build a mind so strong that it scares people. Now the reason I want to go in with this intro, because I used to think, like, why do some people look invincible and why do others break under the slightest bit of pressure? Like, I would always look up to the people who seemed super confident. Now, I used to think there was always something wrong with me, because I always used to have constant doubt. I was always insecure and I was always reactive. I always had imposter syndrome. Like, I always felt like I was never good enough. Then I realized one thing, that it was mental strength. The same way that you are born default with the body that you have, with the way that you think, you can always improve it. And I done this by going to the gym and realized that I had to put myself through physical pain, and then eventually that will tear my muscle literally, and then it will grow back stronger. Now realize that we're all born like a default character. You have to upgrade yourself. The average person is taught comfort, be comfortable, take this shortcut, avoid this, and that's why everyone stays weak and no one likes to accept it. That's why 99% of people are average. That's why 99% of people are miserable and complain, because they stay in a situation they don't want to be like, and they get, guess what, overwhelmed. Because why? You are not strong enough. And you watching this video, that's most likely you, which is why after you watch this video, you are going to be in a position that you know now that you can come out of it and how to come out of it. So if you choose to stay there, that is your fault. Now today I'm going to show you how I went from a bitch to a beast, not just physically but mentally, which is why I'm doing this. And that's the truth. I used to be someone who was very emotional, very reactive, and I had very little self-respect. I would always walk around with my head down, and I would always admire people that I wanted to be like. But at the start, it started off as hate. I would always label that person, put these people on a pedestal, and I would always think like, I'm not good enough. Then I asked myself, why not me? Now, let's go into the first thing, the mindset shift that changes everything. I want to give you a personal experience. I started going in shape because the intention of why I wanted to get in shape is because I just wanted to be the most attractive guy ever. Like, growing up, since I was in primary school to secondary school, I was very insecure. I didn't get any female attention. And I realized that as soon as I hit like 14, 15 years old, as soon as I got into college, I started to get some female attention, but I was so insecure within myself that when I did start to get this attention, I viewed it as, this person is trying to mock me, they're trying to make fun of me. I didn't ever take it seriously. Now, but when it came, so I was already physically very, very strong. So I know that I can go to the gym, lift weights, and I'd have to put my body through physical strain. Now, when it came to something else, everyone says strong body, strong mind, but that's not always the case. You will have a strong mind when you can link the mentality to the same way you manage to get that physical body. What do I mean by that? So the same way you go into a physical gym where you have to get resistance, uncomfortable, you still do it. Consciously know that that is what you need to become stronger, that's going to tear that muscle, and then you get stronger. The same thing with a mental gym. The mental gym is at the moment when shit starts to stress you out, the moment you start to feel overwhelmed, everyone runs away from it. But when you relate back to the gym, you see the connection that I've never gone through this type of stress before. Now I need this. Guess what? You build a mental resistance, and guess what? You become slightly stronger. So the more you go into that stressful room, into that stressful situation, you become accustomed to it. And that's exactly what you need. But I was not aware of it at the time, because when I wanted to create content like this, before I managed to get a platform of over 600,000 followers, get over 20 million views every single month, that's something that I always wanted to do. And I knew that the only thing I had to do was create content, post videos. But whenever it came to creating the videos, whenever it came to like scripting or researching or posting, I'd get overwhelmed, and like I would pretend to be productive by lying to myself and, oh, let me clean my desk first, it's not ready yet. Oh, let me go put some clothes in the washing machine. Let me wash some plates. Let me clean my house. I'll do everything except doing the thing, because I was just running away from it. Now, the thing is, like I said here, I'd avoid the road work. and then that wasn't actually progress. Then I'd feel angry, and then I feel guilt because when I lay my head at night, I realized that I didn't do anything to get closer to who I wanted to get to. So the next day was going to be exactly the same. And you guys need to understand this. If nothing changes, nothing will ever change. So that's why every single day you need to ask yourself, what have I actually done? What seed have I planted for me to get closer to this person that I want to become? And that goal looks different to everyone. For me, it was content creating. For me, it was growing my personal brand. And that's why I'm going to speak about this for the rest of this video. Now, the realization I had, as I mentioned before, is that I had no mental toughness. Like people in the gym who stop as soon as it hurts, it's the same thing. And that's why I told you it's super important to reframe things. When things get hard, that is my mental gym. I need it. Every rep of discomfort made me more resilient. So the lesson I want you to have here is that your limits, they live in your head. Every challenge equals an opportunity to grow. Life isn't meant to be easy. Your mind is a muscle, challenge it or it won't grow. And that's the biggest problem. Everyone's waiting for when life is easy or for when they don't have no stress. So they're always upset because they're expecting this fairy tale of always being happy. That's the biggest problem. That's why most people go down this hedonistic path of drugs, alcohol. Why? Because they're chasing this sensation, chasing this feeling. And guess what? Life will always throw its hardship. You're waiting for the world to adapt to you instead of you adapting to the world. You have to become stronger. That is the truth if you want to live a meaningful life. Now, number 2 is stop doing these 3 things. What are these 3 things? Complaining, because guess what? It drains your energy. The problem is still there and this solves nothing. Number 2 is seeking comfort. Comfort equals regression. Discomfort equals progression. Just always have that at the back of your mind. Just look back at the evidence. Everything that you've done, everything that you've managed to feel proud of something is come at the end of discomfort. You have a girlfriend, guess what? You had to be uncomfortable to go speak to her. You applied for that job, you had to be uncomfortable to even get that job. You got in shape, you had to be uncomfortable to get in shape. You passed that exam, you had to get uncomfortable to study. The thing is, before you can feel smart, you are going to feel dumb. Before you can feel strong, you are going to feel weak. So whenever you feel these negative things, these are actually everything that you know to become stronger and to become the person that you want to become. And number 3, stop making excuses. Victim mentality. Results and excuses, they don't sit on the same table. Because the thing is that keeps you stuck in the same cycle. Your life just keeps on repeating itself. Because guess what? Oh, like I don't have this. I feel sorry for myself. I'm tired. I just had a long day of work. Okay, you've had a long day of work. But guess what? That's just going to guarantee you rest. You're going to have another long day of work tomorrow. And a month after that, and a year after that, and 10 years after that, and then the rest of your life. Do you want that? That's why you need to catch it now, when you can see it. Now you can see it. That's why whenever I say the hard truths, it hurts. Because why does it hurt? Because it's the truth. Now, if I told you you're a shit, I don't know, Formula 1 driver, you probably won't care unless you're a Formula 1 driver. So you react to things that you actually care about. So now you are aware of it. When you're aware of it, you have no one else to blame but yourself. These are 3 daily habits to build mental strength. Now, wake up at 5 a.m. Own your day before the world wakes up. Now, what do I mean by that? Before I used to watch people wake up at 5 a.m. And I used to think, bro, like, why are these people telling you to wake up at 5 a.m.? What is the point of a 5 a.m.? The actual 5 a.m. isn't going to change your life. But what you gain from waking up at 5 a.m. is self-control. This is what most people lack. Self-control is when you want something, but you know you shouldn't. Guess what? Then you don't do it. Most people want something, they do what they want, have regret. But remember, every no is a greater yes to something that you truly want. That's why self-control is so important. But the only reason that you have to control it is because your emotions get in the way. Oh, I really feel like doing this. I feel sad, so guess what? I'm going to act what sad feels like. I feel happy, so I'm going to act what happiness feels like. I feel upset, so I'm going to act what upset feels like. So your actions are being highly manipulated by different emotions, which is why you need to learn to, despite of how you feel, you do what you're meant to do. So waking up at 5 a.m., you don't hit that snooze button. Guess what? You know you have to do it. You feel all of these emotions, all of these excuses. That voice comes in your head. So all that is telling you is creating excuses to why you shouldn't do the thing that you know you're meant to do. All it's going to do is try to convince you out of that thing that you know you're meant to do. So every time you wake up at 5 a.m., you shorten the time between when you hear that alarm and when you wake up, because now you don't have to think. That's your biggest problem. You're too smart for your own good. You try to find excuses. Yes, excuses are valid, but guess what? That makes you feel better. If you want to get better, you get it done regardless. Now, number 4 is controlling emotions under pressure. Now, I want to give you a very personal story. I was someone who couldn't be consistent. I was someone who growing up with my Colombian mother, I had two sisters and I was pretty much always around them. My dad was always working. Now, I would always want to do things, or I'd always want to, I don't know, have this idea or start something, but I was always so reactive and so emotional. The moment things didn't go my way, I would get very frustrated very quickly. I would start to cry and then I would just go to sleep. And for me, that was my escape. I would go to sleep because I feel like I didn't have that problem anymore. I'll wake up, I'll have regret, and I wanted everyone to pity me. And guess what? That just made me feel better, like I said before, but nothing ever got done. And that's when I realized that every time that I do that, time is going by, and every day that I waste, I don't care about this goal as much as I say that I do. Now, when I hit around 25 years old, 24 years old, I realized that this is the age that no one's coming to save me. So I need to do this for myself. I have these dreams, I have these aspirations, right? So why am I not going after them? Oh, because I feel tired, because I feel sad. Your goals don't care about that. No one cares about your story until you become someone worth knowing. And that's why I'm always trying to tell you guys, do this. I never at one point in my life thought that I was going to have a platform of over 600,000 people, inspire people all around the world. It was never part of my plan. Like, at the age of 25, I had no career path, didn't go to university. I said, what am I going to do in my life? And I just started just taking action. Like, even when I didn't know where I was going. But guess what? No action is still an action. So you guys just need to have an idea of what you want. And if you guys don't know what you want, just have an idea of what you don't want. And remember that every action that you don't take to get close to where you're going to get to is going to take you to where you don't want to go. And that should be enough. That should be enough motivation for you to keep on going. And when I started, I doubted myself. Everyone doubted myself. I was insecure. I was scared. I was afraid. I just wanted to get through that moment. And guess what? Now today, I'm inspiring millions around the world, living freedom, have this freedom where I can travel around the world. And this is something that I always wanted. Was it crystal clear? No, it wasn't. But guess what? I just had to be consistent. But people want all the results now. People want, if I start this, then this is going to happen, right? Or they don't hear the right back. They want a guarantee. And they're waiting for this guarantees that they never start, which guarantees that they will fail. Now, the very desire is the very thing that destroys them. So the principle that I want to say here is never let a loss get to your heart and never let a win get to your head. For the very simple reason that you need to act based on the stasis, doing what you have to do, because when you get overly excited, you act based on happiness, very motivating, you start to do more. But then when things don't go your way, you get very sad, you don't do anything. So you need to shorten the time between when you have these emotions. Yes, you're human, you're going to be upset, you're going to be sad, you're going to be vulnerable. That's very normal, you're a human being. Well done, welcome. But acting based on that emotion, that's being weak, and that you cannot do. Now, not only are you letting everyone else down, you're letting yourself down. So the key is emotions changes how you feel, and how you feel, the feelings change what you do. So the key, like I said before, is stay consistent when pressure rises. Number 5, learn to embrace failure. Failure is such a good thing, and I want to change the word to failure to mistakes, because you never fail. You only learn, you only win, or you learn. The only reason you fail is if you decide to quit. Now, at first, I want to give you an example with my content. So when I started to create content, I was creating content for 4 years, and I was very meticulous. I have to do one video, it has to be super well done, and I'll spend hours doing it, overthinking it. I would overwhelm myself because I thought this is the one. And when I post this one, and if it doesn't go my way, it's one and done, and I'm a failure, and that's it. That's the end of the world. It's not like that. The thing is, you need to understand that everyone thinks that you have this one special gift that you have to find, and if you don't find it, it's the end of the world. You have so many gifts. You just have to specialize in it. Now, some things are going to feel easier to you than others, but it doesn't mean that you only have one special destined gift. No, it's just think about it. There's pilots, there is musicians, there is, artists, there are, engineers. There's so many different things, but the reason they have that title is because they specialize in one thing. Now, your problem is that you start one thing, you realize that it's going to take some time for you to get as good as, it's going to take some time, and it's not as easy as you thought it was to get good at that thing. Now you give up. Then you try to find the next thing. You give up, you try to find the next thing, and you're waiting for it to feel natural. The reality is that natural for you is being this very pessimistic and negative person. Because guess what? Natural to you is who you think you are. Most people don't even know who they are. And when you start to really question yourself and ask, who am I? Because in reality, who you are is a build-up of knowledge that has been passed on to you from your parents, religions, and everything that's been around you. Now, the moment you think, oh, I can't do this, why can't you? The moment you actually challenge yourself and you show yourself you can come out on the other side, that's when you realize, I can do that. This is who I really am. Then you start to question yourself, what else can I do? And I lived in this bubble for a very long time. I never thought I could be someone well-spoken. I never thought I could be someone that could be extroverted, go out there and help people and inspire people. I didn't ever think that. Like, I was the last person. I was the person that was hidden in the corner. But guess what? I was tired of living in this box. I came out of it and I started to act different. Why? Because every choice was aligned with that person that I wanted to be. So you need to know where you want to go and make sure that every action lives in alignment. Now, at the start, whenever you do anything, you're going to make mistakes. You've never done it before, because if you knew how to do it, you would have done it already. So the thing I'm going to tell you is try to make mistakes as quickly as possible, because every time you make a mistake, you learn, and you make less mistakes, and guess what? You have grown. The thing is, most people don't learn. Most people just do the same things, the same situations, same behaviors, and they live in that toxic cycle all of the time. Why? Because they have this big ego that it has to be done this way, my way, my way, my way, my way, my way. And that's why you will never learn its lesson. The pain will never leave until you learn its lesson. Just remember that. So failure only exists if you quit. So seek mistakes. Each one is a lesson, but make sure you learn it. Number 6 is develop an unbreakable character. This is so important. How do you do this? You need to think of who you are today. Who you are today is probably a pessimistic, negative, just lazy person. Think about who you want to be, who you're inspired by, who would you be proud to be. And for me, I remember there's a Superman movie that I saw in the cinema one time, and when I saw this movie, I would get goosebumps because I'd see Superman and I wanted everything that he had. And it wasn't him as a person, it was the respect, it was being in shape, it was being someone who just had this charisma about him. And then I said to myself, how can I be that person? How can I be respected? If I need to respect myself, can I be a bit more articulate? Can I get in shape? It's just things that I wanted to improve within myself, and I create this character. And every day I'd ask myself, am I living in alignment with that person? Or am I speaking, acting, behaving? Because eventually, if you want to be this person, you have to speak and act like this person. So once you have this person crystal clear in your mind, every single day you can take the action to become that person. And I don't know if you've realized already, the key word that I say in this video and in all of my videos is take action. Action, action, actions. Now, control what you can. That's what most people forget. They get so overwhelmed with trying to control something that they can, that they can't. And now it comes, oh, I want to be in shape. Oh, I want to do this. I want to make X amount of money. I want to do this. Oh, and your head is just in the future, focusing on something that does not exist, because the future doesn't exist. You don't even know if you're going to be alive tomorrow. That is not in your control. But guess what is in your control? What you do today, because the actions that you do, you start that business, you go into the gym to get in shape. These are things that you can control, which eventually will give you that. Everyone's so focused with the top of the mountain instead of the actual climb. The climb is going to get you there. But what ends up happening is you end up feeling so overwhelmed about the future. Am I going to get it? Is it going to happen? That you can only dictate with the actions that you take. So you're so focused on the future, then you get depressed because you go to the past. Oh, I don't know if I should have gone to university. Maybe I should have done things differently. Did I make the right choices? So you're in the future, in the past. And this future that you want is only created with the things that you do today. But you're not even living in it because you're in these two time frames, future and past, that the actions that you're not taking is going to guarantee that you don't get that outcome that you want. Do you see the correlation? That's why it's so important to make sure you never break character and you stay present. And being present is being grateful, because when you're grateful, it can only be done in the now. Most of your frustrations are very self-inflicted because you feel entitled to an outcome that you think you should have. You want results for the works that you haven't put in. Just focus on what you can do today, and that's what makes you feel satisfied. It's the work that always instills the worth. Now, learn how to react to what you can't. Your mind equals the only thing you can control. My arms, I can't guarantee you I'm going to have it tomorrow. If I lose my arm, I can only control the way I react to things, and always reframe problems as challenges. Now, stop drowning your problems and focus on solutions. I get so tired of this all of the time. When where I used to be, and I always used to be surrounded by people. Oh no, this problem. Oh, that problem. Oh, this situation. I get it. The problem is there. Oh, I'm fat. I'm overweight. I have no money. All right. So what is the solution to it? Oh, I need to get a job. All right. How do you get that job? Oh, I don't have this skill. How do you get that skill? It takes too much time. It takes 5 years. 5 years are going to go regardless. So why don't you just start now? Oh, but I'm not good. Well, of course you're not good. You've never done it before. Oh no, but it's going to be hard. That's the problem. You're not strong enough. And the problem is you become stronger. But your ego is stopping you from actually doing that. So you put the blame on, oh, I don't have money. Oh, I'm fat. That is a byproduct of an underlying issue. That is a product of you and your poor choices. Change it. Conquer yourself or you will be conquered by self. And just remember, pain is compulsory. We're all going to have to go through pain. Suffering is optional. You're going to have to choose the pain of being fat or the pain of going to the gym and working out and having something that you truly want. The pain of growing that business or the pain of being broke. Had the pain of saving yourself the embarrassment or had the pain of never starting this business and living the life you want to live. Now, number 7, discipline over motivation. Many people rely on motivation. Oh, I'm not motivated. There's going to be, most of the time you're not going to feel motivated. Most of the time you're going to feel lost. Most of the time you're going to feel confused. Most of the times you're going to feel doubt. But guess what? Motivation gets you started. I used to watch Rocky movies. I used to read David Goggins and I used to feel motivated, but nothing was done out of it. That's everyone's problem. You get filled with so much information, but the thing that you are lacking is application. That's why 99% of people stay average. The most important thing you need to focus on is action. Action. And that's why they say a lazy genius is much worse than a hardworking fool. I forgot the word. It's something along those lines. But this is the biggest problem, is that everyone wants, I need more information, but information to do nothing with it. That's when it becomes a problem. Now, I used to ride the highs and lows. Some days I felt unstoppable, other days I felt like a failure, and I would act. If I felt unstoppable, I would act unstoppable. If I felt like a failure, I would act like a failure. No emotion. But then I got to the point that I still showed up anyway. That if I felt confused, I realized that this is normal. Put one foot in front of the other. And you need to understand, there'll be days that you have 20%, 30%, 40%, but you give 100% of what you have on those days. Is the self-talk that you have, is the way that you carry yourself, the way that you do anything is the way that you do everything. And self-talk is so important because self-talk resonates and it can really be seen from the way you carry yourself, from the way that you do things. And that's why the number one thing you have to change is your internal world. You have to convince yourself first before you convince anyone else. That's why you have to be confident. That's why you have to truly believe in yourself. And I've made countless of videos about this. The way that you truly become confident is by never breaking your word. Is it uncomfortable? Yes, but that's what we're here for, to create someone who's strong, because being weak is not giving you the life that you want, it's giving you everything that you do not want. Now just remember, everyone is disciplined. Everyone has discipline. The difference is tying it to your why. You are disciplined because you go to a job that you hate. Why? Because you want to pay for your daily expenses. Now, for this goal that you want, you're going to have to be disciplined, because not every day you feel like going to work. Not every day you're going to feel motivated to go to work, but you show up anyway. The same way for your goal. You always have to have this reason why. The reason you go to work is because you have to pay for your bills. The reason you want to carry to this, you want to create this goal and make sure it comes out to reality, is because you want to make sure you live the life that you want and have it firm there. Because when you give up, I used to do this all the time, you stop, the reason comes back and you start again. That's why I've managed to create the life that I live now, and that's why I'm going to create the life that I want to. And that's why I say, whenever your view changes, your views change. Now, we're going to end this video off with 7 rules to never procrastinate again. I'm going to read it straight up, and the reason I wrote these notes is so I don't forget any points, because I can speak for hours based on this, but I just wanted to make sure I compacted it for you guys so you can really take actionable steps and really change your life. And I promise you, if you take action on this, your life will change. Follow through. Now, I know that a lot of people are just going to watch this and just going to save and just maybe going to bother with it, but there's going to be a very small percentage that are going to actually apply this video, and I was that small percentage because I actually used to study the videos, listen to the videos, take action on the videos, and that's why I managed to create the things I had, because I didn't have much resources, but this was everything that I wanted, so that's why I give it back today. That's why I spend my time doing these videos. Now, if you made it this far, please make sure you like, subscribe, comment before I finish the 7 rules to never procrastinate again. So the number 1 is to become your dream person. Don't say I need to, say I am someone who. Give you an example. I say, oh, I need to create content, I need to do this, so it's always a distant thing. But when I start to say I am someone who creates content, then I realize I haven't created content yet, but I am someone who creates content. Then I start to create content. Number 2, never miss twice. Skipping once is human, skipping twice builds a pattern. Number 3, stack your to-do list. Prioritize high impact tasks, not your busy work. Number 4, break tasks into micro steps. Action kills overwhelm. I forgot what I put there. Number 5, time block. Make sure that you time block. Protect your focus, eliminate distractions. Do things in your own favor. If you're trying to lose weight, don't have snacks in the cupboards. If you're trying to stay focused, don't have Instagram with these apps open. And if you don't even use Instagram for business, delete the app, unfollow everyone that doesn't serve you, mute everyone. Track habits daily, build proof of consistency. You need to habit stack. If your habits are all over the place and you have negative habits, start off with one, waking up early. Then the next one, make sure you read every single day. Then the third one, go to the gym every single day. But these are things that you should be doing anyway. Number 7, celebrate reps of discipline. Reward the process, not the outcome. And that's where the expectation should be. The expectation should never be the outcome. The expectation should always be the action that creates the outcome. Now, I hope all of this has helped, because this is everything that I needed to really build a strong mind. Now, the most important thing, and I'm not sure if I mentioned it here, is you guys need to understand that, oh yeah, about the gym. I mentioned that already. If you haven't already, like I said, to build a strong mind, build a strong body so you have something to link it to. I hope you like this video. Put down in the comment section below what was your biggest takeaway. That being said, this battery is about to die. Love you guys. Let's go.